Okay, guys, going to ask Scruff. This one's quite a simple question, but it's one of those questions that you either like them or you don't, sort of thing. But let me kind of show you and then I'll explain. So it's for Jugas. Salute to you, my kid. I know you don't use them, but what's your opinion of trend lines? All right, okay. You're right, I don't use them. There's nothing wrong with trend lines, and they certainly have their place. They can help frame a market. But because I use a lot of Fibonacci and sort of key levels anyway, I don't necessarily need them, which is kind of why I don't use them. But the other reason is I don't find they have as much weight as a solid support and resistance or a fib. And they're also quite subjective on how you draw them. Okay, so case in point, this is a standard chart of the FTSE, current chart. Where here would a trend line really help you? It wouldn't, because as you see, it hasn't really moved across the days. It's pretty much range bound, and it has been right through the year. That's the way the FTSE works, you know. And there's a lot of products work like that. So really, where you'd be placing your trend line is you're looking for things like this, but you can't really see it until it's been sort of completed. So if I was to put a trend line in, so you can see the motion of the market, you drop that through, and the idea is you would stay short on it till it is broken. But what about this section here? That could be quite dangerous. All right, so it can throw that out. And likewise, if it breaks, it creates a new trend and you stay above it. So if I just put another trend line in. So as long as the price stays above that line, because it's now, this one's broken, it's created a new one, you would stay above, it breaks, and then you're looking for a new one. There's nothing wrong with them. They fine, but like I say, they're quite subjective on how you're going to draw them. Then you have something like this. Okay, so you can see it's an upward lift. Get hold of your trend. Where did it start? Well, it started down here. You need a couple of points for it to work to. There you are. So as long as it's above that line, you only really looking to buy it. But when it pulls far away, that is a significant drop back to the trend line. But what's happening is you don't know whether it's the reversal or not, and then you've got to bear that pain. But if you had solid support and resistance, well, then you're just working from case in point. I'll just drop a couple in to give an example. We'll say there's a level there. There's a level there, which we can see. And then obviously got one at the top. So in this scenario, this is telling you to buy it. Fine. So what the way you would work that is, instead of looking at the trend line, you go, right, the trend line price, everything is above it. I only really want to buy it. So you now use these levels. So I buy that level and I get out on the next one. I buy that level and I get out on the next one. Let it drop back down. Well, we're looking to buy when it breaks again, which would be that candle, and you get out on the next one. So that's a way of doing it, okay, by using the level or the trend line rather as a bias as to whether you're going to buy or sell said levels. Simple way of doing it, but as you know, I use 3 baskets. Once I've got my direction in place, I'll then put them in. But then what do you do with this? You know, that's a stinker of a move. And if it gets that far down, and it will be massively away from any trend line, how do you decide whether to buy or sell it? And that's where my other tool comes into place. Well, it's the fib. So you just have to decide where the move started. Well, the move started up there, got down as low as there. And well, what do you know? Went straight to the 50%, as per the rules that I show you guys. Works all the time. So you've got an entry criteria. Enter on the 23, be risk-free at 38, be out by 50. That is a full-on easy trade to follow by market conditions. So ultimately, Doesn't matter what you use as long as you understand why you use them. I use a combination of fibs and solid support and resistance, and then I work on sort of a 3-click bias to get the direction. Once I've got that in place, I'm happy. So I don't really need the trend line to tell me whether to buy or sell, because I've already got that put into bed anyway. Hope that helps you, kid. Catch you soon.